Hey everybody, it's Eric from the MMG. Welcome to our channel. We're checking out Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale, releasing tomorrow, which is January the 19th on the Epic Store. This one is from, published by Calypso Media, which is one of my favorite publishers. They've done a lot of great games, and I really like working with them. So this is a sponsor video. I want to mention that. They did send me a free key for the game. But if you know me, you know I love pirate games. My love started with Sid Meier's Pirates back on my Tandy 1000 back in the early 90s and just blew my mind away. And I played pretty much every pirate game since then. You know, you have great games like Sea of Thieves, which is a ton of fun, that you just can just dive into and have a blast. And then you have like the whole Port Royale series, which just has all kinds of economical and everything else you can think of that you can bring into a pirate game and just get lost in. And I'm hoping Tortuga can give me a little bit of that love again. So let's jump in. We're going to check it out. I'm going to do this as my normal, shorter media type videos where I kind of show you the parts that I like about a game, the parts that I don't like sometimes, and just how the game looks, plays, and feels, all in a nice little package to save your time. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start right here at the very beginning. The map is classic. So this is Sid Meier's Pirates. This is the Caribbean map. A lot of games use this map. I love it because, you know, I'm familiar with it from Sid Meier's Pirates back when I was very, very young. And so I like this a lot. It shows you have the four main nations: England, Netherlands, Spain, and France. You get to choose your name here. You get to pick a flag, your name of your ship, your flagship. You get to actually edit the flag itself here. So there's a little bit of editing going on there. You can pick your starting town. You can pick the strongest nation, which is something you don't normally see, and I kind of like that. And you can see it changes the map. So England takes over a lot down here and in the middle ground there. Netherlands, which is usually one of the smallest nations, has a lot of strong stuff in the middle here. And then you have Spain, which I'm used to being the strongest because the Sid Meier's in most games, you know, they are normally the nation to beat. They have the most outpost, and they're just usually the bad boys. So I'm used to them being my villains. I usually always play the underdogs. A lot of times it was the Netherlands. You know, in England obviously was a popular choice for me, which is what we're going to go with today. We're going to actually make Spain the big dog again. And then you're pirates. You don't get to actually pick your nation right at the start yet. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to actually start, though, in an English town. My favorite here, old Port Royale. So we're going to find it, and we're going to start there if it lets me. It's not going to let me, actually. I take that back. There's only, looks like there's maps. There's the main cities here around the corner. We're going to start in the Turks Island then. So it looks like each nation you can start in one, so we'll start there. All right, let's get into the game. All right, first thing we're going to look at is combat. It's something that you learned in the tutorial, which is what you're seeing here. It is turn-based, which was how Port Royale 4 just did it in their latest release. A lot of people didn't like that. I actually like turn-based combat, which might surprise you because Sid Meier's Pirates wasn't that way. But I do think it's a little more fitting because it makes combat a little more interesting in my opinion. Now, as you can see, this is the tutorial. One thing that I like already about this is once your ship has picked up speed, it cannot stop at will. The farther you go in one round, the greater your minimum move in the next. I love that. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But as you can see, I moved pretty far here. Now I can't stop on even any of these squares around me. The closest one is right here. I think that's an awesome idea. I'm not sure why more games don't do that because I absolutely love it. We'll see how it plays out more later in the game, but I wanted to mention that right away that I do like that aspect. Alright guys, so I just finished a good chunk of the tutorial. Got a second captain to join my crew. The combat feels like Sid Meier's Pirates, but turn-based. The whole game so far feels a lot like a graphical overhaul and improvement over Sid Meier's Pirates. The only thing I've ran into is that you raise and lower your black flag with the right mouse button, and I clicked that on accident sometimes trying to move the camera, but the camera actually moves by the middle mouse button, or the wheel, so that's something you can adjust in the key settings, I'm sure, so that's just kind of a me thing. I'll go in and fix that, but so far, absolutely loving this game. I wanted to tell you guys how it works. When you get the second captain, you're doing through the tutorial. It shows you the basics of combat, going into a town, recruiting crew members, and when you get to this point, it wants you to actually divide the plunder, get rid of your crew, make them happy, and so that's what I just did. And it's all done by a slider bar. You can give them a percentage of the gold that you have, and the more you give them, the happier they are, and the more they'll listen to you, and they're happier, basically a happier crew. So I did that, and then I got to this screen where I level up my characters, and I had to stop and show you guys this because, one, so here's your character sheet. You can see there's 2 different characters. So your main guy, you have a lot more choices. This is the secondary captain. You can see he's got stuff he loves and he hates. He's got abilities already, and he looks like he can unlock 4 more. We got some progress on that one. So this is kind of cool. Every captain has their own stuff right from the start. And you can see what it unlocks and what it does and stuff. But I wanted to show you the amount of skills that you get to pick from. There are, I think, 40 skills. But yeah, look at all these skills. All kinds of stuff. You can really, really specialize your captain. You can make him... I mean, you can place traps. I didn't even know you could do that. There's traps on the battlefield. Lucky shot, guaranteed hit, crew survives longer bombardment, all kinds of ways. So I'm really, really impressed by the abilities that you have that you can pick from here. And just how this whole game works so far is really, really impressive. Alright, so I played for several more hours. Just wanted to mention, when you come into a town, you can upgrade your reputation with the different factions. So I'm a Baron with England because I've been doing these missions. When you come and talk to the governor, he'll have missions here. And the higher rank you are, it looks like the more you get. When I first started, I only had a couple of options. Personal protection was one to escort. And the other one is actually bring trade goods. The trading system's pretty in-depth. Here's the tavern. You can look at the different missions. These are missions down here at the bottom. You can listen to rumors to find where convoys are if you want to attack them. You can divide the booty, which I mentioned earlier. Your crew will get tired of you, and you have to do that about every, I think 19 days is how long my last crew made it before my morale went into the crapper. It is a really neat system because you have goals that you're trying to achieve with that crew, and you set those after you divide the booty. So for the next crew, and the more of them you hit, the better rep you are, and the more likely you won't lose your ship and everything. So that's kind of an interesting aspect of it. I like it. It's not really just based off money. In fact, money seems to be the least restrictive part so far. It's more about hitting your objectives and making the crew happy. And you can carry all kinds of goods with you. And the map is just big. Like you know where a few cities are when you start, but when you drive around, you'll explore and find more. Like I haven't been anywhere over here. So yeah, I really like this game a lot. I'm having a blast. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Sid Meier's Pirates. This one is Tortuga. It's available on the Epic Store right now. So make sure you check it out if it's something you're interested in, because it's better than I expected, and I love it. And it's one of those games where I've been playing it through the night. I look at the clock and another hour's went by. Now it's like way past my bedtime because it's just that type of game. It's just a ton of fun. So if you're looking for like a classic feeling pirate game, you're a fan of Sid Meier's. Now I will say I haven't ran into any sword fighting yet. Now I haven't also attacked a port yet either. This game's not super easy. I've lost several battles that... Oh yeah, this is another thing I want to mention. Sorry. Backtracking in here. So all the ships are very different. So when you play a lot of pirate games, usually the bigger ships got more cannons, it's better, right? If it's a warship, obviously it's going to be loaded with cannons. It's going to be slower, but it's going to do a ton more damage. And then you have cargo ships like the galleon, which usually what I would call the middle ground. So it had a ton of cargo space, but it also had okay cannons. This game, though, you can totally customize your ships. If you come into the Harbor Master here, this is not a great port, darn it. But anyways, this is where you repair, but you also have like options to upgrade things. So like on this one, I have 8-pounder starboard. Oh, that's my sloop. Sorry. On my brigand, I have these bigger cannons to do a lot more damage, but the range is different. And then you get also equip some offensive upgrades. This ship can have 2 offensive, 2 defensive, and there's also support ones down here that you can do. And you have to go to ports, and you have to be in good ranking or status with that, whatever you're at, whatever country, England or whatever, to be able to access some of this stuff. And so the better you are, the more stuff you get unlocked. But there's a lot of customization here, and like I had this sloop, for instance, and it had guns on it. These 8-pounders that were hitting a lot harder than what my default. Now I've upgraded these, but by default the brig had weaker guns. Now the sloop couldn't take as big of damage, but it was a little bit faster, so I could kind of maneuver it around. As you can see, your boarding strength here, and this is all based off different stuff. And I do want to mention something else. I mentioned the captain skill trees. There's actually a little more to it than I realized. Not only when you pick these skills, but then you can also rank these up with skill points. So as you can see, you can upgrade these, so they can reload faster. This one upgrades 4 times. This one I've upgraded a couple times. This one increases your ship's resilience. And it shows you here what it does on the right-hand side there. So that's kind of cool. It's even more in-depth than I thought, and I love it. And every time you gain experience, you don't level up until you actually divide the booty with the crew. Then you gain all that experience, then you level up. I really like the little aspects of the game like that. That is just fun. And so it gives you a reason to divide, because I can remember in Sid Meier's Pirates, I would try not to ever divide my crew, because it was just a pain to sail around and go to the taverns and get more crew. And this system just works really well with how it's set up. I just really like this a lot. I haven't actually attacked the port yet. I was going to try to get that done tonight, but the game, like I said, is not easy. And it's taking me a while to build up there. And right now, a port would just murder me, I'm sure, because it's just taking me a little bit. I'm having a hard time finding a third captain. I thought I'd be able to find a third captain pretty easily. Hasn't happened yet. It's just got a lot of little cool things like that. And I'm glad I'm not sailing through it real easy, because I'm really enjoying this game, and I like a game that I'm enjoying and working towards progression all at the same time. So yeah, check it out, Tortuga. Sorry I kind of ranted on long. This is a longer review than normal, but I really like this game, and I think you will too. So check it out on the Epic Store right now. Thanks everybody, and have a great day.